Good evening. Our top story tonight, the 2020 candy bar election. While the votes continue to trickle in, the nominations are really starting to shape up. Reese's has a healthy lead in the chocolate party with 961 delegates, while the next closest competitor is M&M's with 213 delegates. While there's still states and votes to tally, it's shaping up to be a real blowout. Over on the Chewy Party side, President Sour Patch Kids is leading the pack with 902 delegates. The Chewy Party's race is a bit more interesting, with Twizzlers in second place with 416 delegates. The main difference here is which portion of the votes each leader is getting. While Reese's has 61% of all chocolate delegates, Sour Patch Kids only has 38% of the Chewy delegates so far. We have some breaking news to report. The chocolate party has seen two candidates drop out of the race completely. In an embarrassing defeat, Mallow Cups has withdrawn their nomination after not managing to get a single delegate. Snickers is also calling it quits, with only 132 delegates this far into the race. Snickers announced that they would be suspending their campaign, seeing no path forward to the nomination. For breaking news for the Chewy Party, we go to a live announcement from Now and Later.
Good evening. I come to you tonight with an announcement I hoped I would never have to make, but after careful consideration, I've come to the realization that our campaign for Candy President will be unsuccessful. The time for us may be later, but it is not now. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the one person from California who voted for me. Going forward, I would announce my endorsement, but it hardly seems to matter. So thank you, and good night.
Well, there you have it. Now and Later has also officially dropped out of the race completely. I'm joined tonight by a panel of experts to discuss. Luckily, all these experts live with me, so we're not breaking any social distancing rules. Please welcome tonight, Caleb, chairman of the Chewy Party, Dad, chairman of the Chocolate Party, and finally, Peyton, candy bar election historian. Peyton, let's start with you. How do you think the current state of the world is going to impact the election?
These are uncertain times for sure, Hayden. Luckily, the founders of the candy bar election have always made it very easy to cast your vote from the comfort of your own home. Voting shouldn't be impacted, but the way candidates are perceived may evolve through this pandemic.
Interesting. Do you think voters may be rethinking their original choices?
Well, we know the Chewy Party historically has been much more successful in the past, but these are interesting times, Hayden. If we're talking about what candy people are more likely to grab during a global pandemic, we need to look more at the comfort food candy. These are Hershey's and Reese's of the world. Moms are going for the Ghirardelli to get them through these tough times.
So where does this leave President Sour Patch Kids?
In my expert opinion, Sour Patch Kids is the kind of candy you take to the movies. Nobody is going to the movies anytime soon. This could spell trouble for the president. Voters might be looking for a change to get them through this pandemic.
Dad, as chairman of the Chewy Party, what's your take on the situation?
Well, I don't disagree that these uncertain times will impact the election, but November is a long way away. Nobody knows how things are going to shake out, and we've already seen a number of surprises this election. If Circus Peanuts can wrap up 350 delegates, anything can happen.
So you don't believe that this pandemic negatively affects the Chewy Party disproportionately?
Well, it may be true that some Chewy Party candies are the ones you would eat in a social setting, but this could just make voters realize they miss those candies they typically have at the movies. In addition, movie streaming is more popular than ever now, so families might just be attempting to simulate the cinematic experience in their own home.
And how do you see this nomination shaking out? Is Sour Patch Kids a shoo-in?
It does certainly look that way. If you look at the delegate count, the only one Sour Patch Kids might even be worried about is Twizzlers, and that's really only because they did well in a few select states. If anything, we've seen more votes recently from Swedish Fish, and let's face it, they're just a worse Sour Patch Kids, and everyone knows it.
Kayla, we've seen two candies drop out of the chocolate party race already. But you have to wonder how long these other candies can stay in the race.
This really is Reese's race to lose. Even if Hershey's and Ghirardelli teamed up, their combined delegates wouldn't even be a third of what Reese's has. Even with M&M's diversity, they just can't compete.
Reese's Peanut Butter Cups is a two-time loser in the candy bar election. Do you think this time will be any different?
It might come down to a Reese's vice presidential pick. Frankly, with their peanut butter center, they're going to need to go with a more traditional chocolate candy to appeal to those voters with peanut allergies. But the Chocolate Party believes 2020 could be their year to finally capture the candy bar presidency.
Thank you, Caleb. I'd like to thank all of my guests for being here tonight and for their unique insight. With Channel 7611 News, I'm Hayden Waterstrout. Thank you for watching.